Good day, everyone. So, how's your day? And today we will be discussing our new lesson, and we are now in our week 2 in Mathematics 8. And our topic for today is about factoring by grouping and factoring general trinomials. Okay, so let's have the definition of factoring by grouping. Some polynomials may contain common monomial or binomial factors. So again, a monomial is a polynomial consists of one term, and your binomial is a polynomial consists of two terms. When a polynomial has four or more terms, common factors can sometimes be used in factoring by grouping. The terms are grouped such that the common factor in a group is also the common factor in the other group. Okay, so let's have an example here. Factor x squared minus 2x plus xy minus 2y completely. Okay, so for step 1 is to group the terms with parentheses. So for easiest way is to group the first term and the second term since they have a common variable x, and also you group the third and the fourth term which has a common variable y. Next is to factor out the common term, which is the common of your first group is x. So x squared divided by x, the remaining here is now x. And negative 2x divided by x, we have now 2 plus, copy the sign. And the common between xy minus 2y is y. And you factor out y among these terms. So we have now xy divided by y, the remaining is x. And negative 2y divided by y, that is negative 2. And now, look at their common terms. So we have here the common group, which is x minus 2, and also x minus 2 is at the second term of our um, equation. Now, let's summarize this or factor. We have now the quantity of x minus 2 times the quantity of x plus y. So we have here our factor form for x squared minus 2x plus xy minus 2y. Next, let's have another example. We have factor 2xy plus x squared y minus 6 minus 3x. So first is to group the terms with parentheses. So you group the terms, the first and the second term, since they have in common x and y variable. Okay, and also you group the third and the fourth terms. Next is to factor out the common term. Okay, so let's factor out between 2xy plus x squared y. So we have there the common is x and y. And also for the common between 6 plus 3x, that is 3, and we take xy from 2xy, the remaining here is 2, and x squared y divided by xy, the remaining now is x, minus 6 divided by 3, that is 2, and 3x divided by 3, that is x. Now let's factor out, since the common between these two terms is the quantity of 2 plus x. So this is the common between them. And you can write now into its factor form, which is the quantity of 2 plus x times the quantity of x, y minus 3. Okay, let's proceed now to factoring x squared plus bx plus c. So in this form, this is what we call quadratic expression, which is the highest degree of exponent is 2. That's why we call this quadratic equation. Okay, factoring a trinomial of the form x squared plus bx plus c. So this is an example of trinomial because it consists of three terms. First term is x squared, second term is bx, and third term is c. Means to express the trinomial as the product of two binomials of the form the quantity of x plus n times the quantity of x plus n. Okay, so we have here an example, factor x squared plus 5x plus 6 completely. Okay, so for step 1 is to factor the first term. So the factor for x squared, that is x times x. So we write here in our parentheses. And then factor the last term, so the factor of 6. So we have different factors for 6, that is 1 times 6, the answer is 6. We have 2 times 3, so these are the factors of 6. 2 times 3 equals 6, also negative 1 times negative 6, that is equals 6, positive 6. And negative 2x, negative 2 times negative 3, that is equals to positive 6. And take note that when you add these factors, the sum or the result should be equal to our middle term. So our middle term here is 5x and the coefficient here is 5. So when you add these two factors, the answer must be 5. So let's add 1 plus 6, so we have 7. Now let's add the factors 2 and 3, so the answer is 5. Positive 5. So we take these factors 2 and 3 as we use in factoring. So we have now our final answer, which is x plus 2 times the quantity of x plus 3. So you just copy here our factors 2 and 3, and then you x the factors of your first term, so we have x. So our final answer is x squared plus 5x plus 6 is just equal to your quantity x plus 2 times the quantity of x plus 3. Next, number 2, let's factor x squared plus 11xy plus 10y squared. Step 1 is to factor the first term. Okay, so we all know that the factor of x squared, that is x times x. So we have now x times x. These are the factors for your x squared. And then factor the last term. So what are the factors, or what are the numbers that if you multiply, the answer is 10? So we have here 1 times 10, we have equals positive 10. 2 times 5, that is positive 10. Negative 1 times negative 10, still we have positive 10. Negative 2 times negative 5, that is equals positive 10. Okay, and the factor for y squared, that is y times y. And take note that the result must, that if you add these two factors, the result should be the middle term. So our middle term here is 11. So what numbers or what factors, if we add here, the result is 11. Okay, so we have 1 plus 10, we have now 11. So therefore, we are going to use the factors 1 and positive 10. So we write it in our formula. We have now the factored form of x squared plus 11xy plus 6. I guess this is not plus 6, but this is 10y squared. So you change this into 10y squared, not 6. Okay, equals, is just equal to the quantity of x plus y times the quantity of x plus 10y. Okay, now let's have number 3 example. Factor x squared minus 12x plus 20. So first is to factor the first term. So the factors for x squared, that is x times x. So you write here in our formula x times x. And then you factor the last term. So what are the numbers if you multiply, the result is 20? So we have 1 times 20, that is equals 20. 2 times 10, that is 20. 4 times 5 still equals to 20. And negative 1 times negative 20, that is positive 20. Negative 2 times negative 10, that is positive 20. Negative 4 times negative 5, that is positive 20. Okay, so take note that when you add these two factors, the result should be equal to our middle term. So our middle term here is negative 12. So we are looking for a negative 12 result. Okay, so 1 plus 20, that is 21. 2 plus 12, that 2 plus 10, that is 12. So we are looking for negative 12 and not for positive 12. Next, we have 4 plus 5, that is 9. Negative 1 plus negative 20, that is negative 21. And negative 2 plus 10, that is negative 12. So therefore, we will take negative 2 and negative 10 as our factors. So we have now our final answer. X squared minus 12x plus 20 is also equal to the quantity of x minus 2 times the quantity of x minus 10. So you just copy the factors of 20, that the result was that when you add these two factors, the result is negative 12. Okay, let us proceed to our last example, which is factor x squared plus 4x minus 12. So first is the factor the first term, the factor for your x squared, that is x times x, and factor the last term. So what are the numbers? If you multiply, the result is negative 12. So we have negative 1 times 12, so we have negative 12. 1 times negative 12, the result is negative 12. Negative 2 times 6 equals negative 12. 2 times negative 6 equals negative 12. Negative 3 times 4 equals negative 12. 3 times negative 4 equals negative 12. Okay, so when you add these two factors, the result must be our middle term, which is positive 4. So we are looking for a positive 4 answer. Negative 1 plus 12, that is positive 11. 1 plus negative 12, that is negative 11. And negative 2 plus 6, that is positive 4. So these are the factors, negative 2 and positive 6. And then you write it to our formula earlier. So we have now our final answer, which is x squared plus 4x minus 12 is equal to the quantity of x minus 2 times the quantity of x plus 6. Okay, so let's have now another example of factoring. We have factoring by grouping. So factoring by grouping x squared plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 1. So earlier we discussed where the value of a is always 1, and now we try add another value x other than 1. So when the coefficient a of the term ax squared is not 1, there are more possibilities for factoring to consider. We will consider two methods of factoring this trinomial using trial and error and factoring by grouping. Okay, so we have here an example, factor 3x squared plus 5x plus 2. So step 1 is to factor the first and the last term. So what are the factors for 3x squared and what are the factors for 2? So we have for 3x squared, that is equal to 3x times 3x, and the factors for 2 is 2 times 1. Okay, so write the possible pairs of factors. So you try to regroup this, or you try to pair other factors to other combinations. So we have here the quantity of 3x, that is from 3x squared. So the quantity of 3x plus 2, which is the first factor, and then times the quantity of x plus 1. And also other possibilities or groupings, we have 3x. So 3x plus, now let's try 1 here, and then times the quantity of x plus 2. So we just rearrange it and try other possible pairs, or that is what we call trial and error. Next, check for the correct middle term using FOIL method. Okay, so the tips here is to add the first and last term, and then you also you multiply the first and last term, and then you multiply the outer term, and you multiply the inner terms. Okay, so multiply 3x times 1, that is positive 3x. 2x times 2 times x, we have 2x. And then you add 2x plus 3x, that is positive 5x. And also you multiply the outer terms. We have 3x times 2, that is 6x. 1 times x, that is x or 1x. And then check that if you add this product, the result should be our middle term. So the answer here is 3x, the quantity of 3x plus 2 times the quantity of x plus 1, since our middle term earlier is 5x. So this satisfies our factor to our given expression. Okay, so let's have another example. Factor 3x squared minus 4x minus 7. So first is factor the first and the last term, 3x squared minus 4x minus 7. Okay, so factors of 3x squared, that is 3x times 3 times x, and then the factors for negative 7 is negative 1 times 7, or also 1 times negative 7. Next is write the possible pairs for factors. So we can pair. We have here four possible pairs. So that is 3x minus 1, and then the quantity of x plus 7, since positive 7, and then you also try 3x plus 7 times the quantity of x minus 1, and also times the quantity of 3x plus, so you try another factors of 7, that is 1 times the quantity of x minus 7. You can also pair this 3x minus, so 3x minus 7 times the quantity of x plus 1. Okay, so step 3 is check for the correct middle term using FOIL method. Okay, let us check first our first and second pairs. So 3x times 7, that is 21x. Negative 1 times x, we have negative 1x or negative x. And you add negative x plus 21x, that is positive 20. And 3x times 1, negative 1, that is negative 3x. 7 times x, that is 7x, and then you add 7x plus negative 3x, the result is positive 4x. So take note that the result should be equal to our middle term. Okay, so let's have another pair, which is 3x times negative 7, the result is negative 21x. 1 times x, the result is x, and you add x plus negative 21x, the result is negative 20x. And then you try 3x times 1, that is positive 3x. Negative 7 times x is equal to negative 7x, and you add negative 7x plus 3x, the result is 4x. Since our middle term is negative 4x, therefore we will take these factors as our final answer. Okay, so our final answer now is the quantity of 3x minus 7 times the quantity of x plus 1. Okay, so any questions? If you have questions, kindly message me to our group chat, and I'll be happy entertaining your questions. Thank you for listening. That's all. Keep safe, everyone.